Hi, guys, and welcome to Old Game Save. I am your host tonight, Jordan Vickers, as always. And tonight, I got with me two guests tonight. Let's go ahead and start with our newcomer to the show.
Oh, that's me, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to introduce myself? I'm sorry. I haven't done a lot of other people's podcasts, and I don't usually introduce myself. I am Blaster Goblin, or my actual name is Quentin, if you want to call me by that. That's who I am. Do I need to introduce what I do? I'm sorry. I should have had some preparation before this. I should ask more questions.
That's my fault.
This is my no, all me. This is an excellent first introduction. This is how everything I do goes.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce like what you kind of do online and where people can find you and what do you do and stuff.
Oh boy, how much time we got? I do a lot of stuff. Deep dive scripted videos on sometimes just nonsense related to video games. Streams every week. I do a podcast now that is nonsense, not related to video games. And then when people will allow me to, I do stuff like this. And you can find me everywhere at Blaster Goblin, all over. You can just Google it, and I'll pop up there because I put way too much stuff on the internet. I'm always looking for attention.
Awesome. And going on to a familiar voice on this show.
What's up, Jordan? It's good to be back. You got the Portland Kevin coming in. How's it going?
Oh, man, it's going great. I've been wanting to do this podcast ever since I thought of this show. Because this month we have a double feature for Old Game Save and finished game review, which might actually be having a name change soon. I'm working on that. I originally wanted to call it the final game review, and there was a movie podcast similar to that, but I just realized they haven't posted anything in a long time. And they were talking about movies. I'm talking about games. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just going to just steal that and add game to it.
Go for it.
Yeah. But anyways, tonight we are talking about Resident Evil 4, the original, and on finished game review or the final game review, whatever it will be called, we'll be talking about the remake, and I'll be talking about that with Colin. And I'm very excited about that. But also happy to have you both here. Blaster, your first time. Kevin, you've been on several times. I've been on your show plenty. So when we get into this, just a quick reminder, I kind of expect people to be a bit familiar with games on Old Game Save. This is a show about memories of old games way back when, and what we really love about the game, as well as kind of stories about our own personal lives, where we were when we were playing the game, and things of that nature. So, spoilers ahead, and this is not so much a review show, unlike the other show I do. So, this came out back in 2005 for the Nintendo GameCube, and we got many iterations since. I know the first time I played the original Resident Evil 4, my cousin was like, you got to check out this game. He showed me it. He showed me the first area, and he let me borrow it. And I fell in love because I was trying really hard to get into Resident Evil. And I was having a hard time. I had the original remake for the GameCube, which is still gorgeous to this day. But I was also having a little bit of trouble with it because the tank controls made things a bit awkward. Also, when you're a bit younger, you're a bit more sensitive to certain things, and certain parts of that mansion just creep me the hell out. Like the giant spiders were yeah, I can handle it now just fine, but back then I was like, oh my god, those fucking giant spiders. But playing this, totally different ball game, and I think it's definitely, along with the remake, in the top 5 favorite games of mine of all time. Do you guys remember when you guys played this for the first time?
Exactly when I remember exactly when I first played it. I was in college. It was my sophomore year of college, and I was extremely excited for this one. I w- I loved the original remake for GameCube, and that was my first introduction to Resident Evil. And I after I finished that, I couldn't get enough of the series. I played Zero. I played uh, the second one on PlayStation. Like that, I got a PlayStation just so I could play RE2 and RE3. And then my parents had gotten my younger brother a Dreamcast, and I borrowed his Dreamcast just so I could play Code Veronica. And then like I did all of that in the 2 years between I had the remake and Resident Evil 4 eventually came out. So by the time Resident Evil 4 was on the way, and like previewing really well, I was so excited for this game to a point where like I saw a misprint for an ad, like a Best Buy ad that was advertising they were selling Resident Evil 4, and it was impossible. The game was like 3 months away, but I drove 40 minutes to another town to a Best Buy just so I could go in there and see if they had Resident Evil 4. And of course, like they had a sign up like taped to the game kiosk there saying like, we're sorry, we're not selling Resident Evil 4. And it's like, of course not, come on guys. Like, but as an optimistic 19-year-old, I thought to myself, I need to go get this game like right now, and if by chance they have it, I'm gonna go get it. So I was so excited for this. On the actual release day in that January of 2005, I again drove across town to get it. I drove all the way from my small college town up to Salem, Oregon to get it, and then back and got back to my apartment at like 10:30 at night and immediately just put it in and started playing it. I was so excited for this game.
Yeah, sorry, I had my mic muted there. Yeah, a running toddler in the background, didn't want to bother anybody. Yeah, I vividly remember my first experience with this, and I'm a little bit younger, so I was probably like 11, 10 or 11 when Resident Evil 4 came out, and I remember seeing my older brother and a friend playing it, and they were at his friend's house, and they were making fun of his stepdad, like using only the shotgun to take out everything and not having any ammo. I have a very vivid memory of this and really wanting to play it and not, as a younger brother, not being able to play it because they wouldn't let me. And then as soon as they were done and I got my hands on it, I was like fully addicted to Resident Evil, everything. Like I even attempted to play at that younger age, like Resident Evil 2 and 3, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I really like 4, so I'm gonna keep trying to play these. And yeah, I've been hooked ever since on Resident Evil 4.
Oh, la campana. Es hora de rezar. Tenemos que irnos. Lord Sattler.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Like I said, I borrowed the GameCube version. And then later on, when I got a PS2, I bought the PS2 version, and that was kind of the first real derivative edition. That one had a bit more features on it. It had instead of Agent Ada, that had the classic separate ways and I don't remember if Mercenaries was on GameCube mode or not. Do you guys remember?
Yes, Mercenaries was on the GameCube.
Okay. I had a feeling it was. I wasn't 100% sure. So, what are like some of your favorite iconic moments of the game?
Oh, definitely the village just starting out like that. That is one of the best opening like 20 minutes of a game ever. Like I feel like it they drop you into the Spanish village and they have you go inside the house and confront this guy who while Leon is looking for Ashley and um, they give you kind of like a rough idea of how the controls are going to work. They give you the chance to just take care of one enemy at a time and then two or three enemies, and then they take you to the main village and they have you just like try and survive this onslaught of the ganados in this village, and you just have to survive until you've killed enough and the church bell rings. And what I really loved about that is that how there's like anything you can do, and that like you could go about trying to survive in any way in this village, and just as long as you can kill enough enemies you can make it. But you can barricade yourself in one building or another building. You can jump through windows, and it is an action movie in a game. It is incredible. And that moment where you take Leon into the big house and he pushes the bookcase up against the door, and then he like you have that like cutscene that it interrupts your gameplay, and it shows that the chainsaw guy is coming. It is just perfect in terms of like thematic building and hitting that tension.
Man, talk about an iconic game area. That village, I
Yeah.
could play that like just that opening village like all day long. If somebody would mod that and make it into a roguelite, I don't think I'd ever play another game again. I could just do that.
That's what that's the mercenaries mode right there. That was like the original horde mode that like you could just try and survive as long as you can.
Yeah. I love Mercenaries mode because sometimes you just want to play this game, but you don't want to like set in for a full campaign. And Mercenaries is a great way to like just get that feeling out of your system.
Yeah.
I remember like using Krauser a lot when I played Mercenaries because he could use his giant arm attack and it would just mow down enemies. And it's just really oddly satisfying whenever you get a huge horde that you would usually go, oh shit, to, and he just clears them out.
Yeah.
And oh, I love it.
That was my go-to move on the castle stage. There's like a staircase there, and you kind of like flood them up the staircase, and then you just use that down it, and you can wipe out like dozens of them at once.
Yeah. This game also it really excelled at throwing in a ton of boss fights for you to tackle. And there were so many memorable ones, like the lake monster, the El Gigante, and then you have to fight two of them at once in the castle. That was amazing. One of my favorites comes very late in the game, and it is the U3 fight. You don't ever hear that name, but that's just what it's referred to. It is called It in the game, and it is like this giant scorpion meshed with like other human parts, and it has two phases. The first is a phase where you're on a bunch of containers that are suspended over a large pit, and you have to run through these mazes that are inside the containers, and then like shoot switches, and then at the same time dodge the attacks from this thing it's like swiping its claws at you and stuff, and then make it out of the container maze before it drops into the pit. And it is excellent at creating that tension.
Yeah, one of my favorite bosses is Vertigo, which is the servant of not of Salazar, the little midget.
Ramon Salazar.
Yeah. Oh man,
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Kennedy.
yeah, and Salazar himself is like probably one of the two favorite fights of mine.
Oh,
But
that is a disgusting fight. It is awesome.
yeah,
I
um,
can't tell you the last time I actually played that boss fight because I just there's like you buy a rocket launcher right outside of it and then one shot it and walk away from it. I haven't played that boss fight in probably like a decade.
I actually have a really funny moment about that boss fight. Uh, so right beforehand, you're going up and up on this elevator, right? And by now, you have figured out you can hear enemies kind of around you chanting, but they're not in attack mode. Well, I thought I made it all the way up the elevator. I thought they were still waiting around the corner. Turns out I just missed some. And this was my very first playthrough. So I was like playing a bit more cautiously. I was creeping around the corner really slowly. And then I see a guy in a robe. And I'm like, cool. I shoot at it. And he goes down and I turn the corner. It's the fucking merchant. I
Oh,
killed the merchant right before this boss fight. And the worst part is, so I was like, okay, no problem. I'll just save and I'll reload.
no.
And here's the funny thing about that. The merchant will stay dead if you kill him in an area.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And I was like, oh, and then I go in and like, of course it's a really hard boss fight.
Yeah, how are you supposed to buy your rocket launcher?
Yeah. Yeah. That boss fight has some great tense moments if you get knocked to the floor because you're fighting him on this big U-shaped pedestal, but he can knock you off the pedestal down into the lower area. And down in that lower area has Las Plagas scurrying around. And like it is unnerving to me to just try and navigate your way back up that ladder without getting grabbed by them. And anytime I would get knocked down there, I'd be like, God damn it, just get back up. Just go, just go. God damn it, no. Because you see them scurrying down there. It's just horrifying. This game, I loved how this game didn't really have a lot of those like terrifying moments that will like outright scare you, at least for me, but it has a ton of moments that give you some good jump scares. And anytime one of the Ganadas will come up behind me with a hatchet and just slice Leon's back, it's just like, oh god damn it, like good jump scare right there. Gets me every time. But like going back to like talking about terror, Jordan, you were bringing up that other guy, the minion. What was it called? The Shadow or
Vertigo?
Vertigo. That fight, like leading up to that creates some great tension because as Leon is going through the sewers, he's like just trucking along and stuff. You're picking up stuff and there are no enemies. But every time you hit a certain threshold in that pipe, it cuts to the scene of like something crawling through the sewers right where you just were. And it feels just so unsettling thinking like, okay, what's around the corner? What's coming for me? And what is this thing? Because you only ever saw it in like this hooded robe. You didn't actually see what it was.
Well, not only that, they also pepper in those like quick time events where it will like pop
Yeah.
down at you and then
Yeah,
disappear
and you just
as
see
you're
it's-
leading up to the boss fight, and you're like, "What is this tail that's coming out of the
just the
ceiling
tail
at me?"
that's coming out of the ceiling to stab me. What is this? But you're pretty much fighting like an armored version of the xenomorph from Alien. It's
It
just
does
awesome.
have like an Alien's Isolation vibe of like something crawling around in the vents above you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You also need like knockdown liquid nitrogen containers in order to make him vulnerable, and that's when you start blasting the shit out of him.
The first time I played this, I didn't know you could do that. And like I didn't think he could be killed. And so I just escaped him and I left him behind in that sewer.
Yeah, I actually did the very same thing too. I waited till the elevator came down because I couldn't figure it out. I don't remember when I figured it out, but that's one thing I do love about this game. It took me, as much as I love it, probably a good decade to figure out all the fun secrets of this game.
Oh
There
yeah,
are
there's so many.
there's a ton from like how to combine proper treasures
Hmm.
to like you can actually kill that fucking thing. Um, the new game plus modes of like just getting really cool weapons.
Yeah.
Um,
The secret I think of a lot when I think of this game is that when you're in the castle, that every time there's a picture of Sadler on the wall, if you can like take it off and then there's just gold behind it.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
always
usually
really
shoot them.
like
Yeah.
that specific Easter egg that you can just knock those down and there's always gold behind his face.
Yeah. One of my favorite tricks to do is uh, try and empty my guns and then not reload them, and then try and make it to a merchant with an empty gun and upgrade it, upgrade the magazine, and that will give you free ammo.
I'm so glad you said that because they took that part out in remake.
I know. That is one thing that makes me love this version over the remake, and I like the remake. It is really good, but those little things that like you could kind of trick the game into giving you stuff, or like that there are certain tricks that you can do in this game that can't be done in the remake, and I kind of miss that. It kind of feels like I know this one so well that that there are just certain things that I love about it that don't translate to that new version.
That's actually something I really like about this too. That it's even like between different versions of the original game, there are ways you can tweak it or glitch it to make it work in your way.
Yeah.
Like the Dipman glitch, if you're familiar with that, that
Oh yeah.
it's kind of it's based on frame rate. So if you play like the PS4 or Xbox One port, you can't do it because that bumps it up to 60 frames and then it just doesn't work anymore. So
Yeah.
that if you want to perform that glitch, you have to play some of the older versions of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Other like fun things that I love doing, like glitching and stuff like that, is like you can shoot somebody in the knees and then walk up and like roundhouse kick them, and it works so well every time, and that often clears out a whole horde of ganados because the roundhouse kick is like it does splash damage, and so Leon will kick like three different enemies that are all around the one that he's trying to hit.
Yeah, that and a
Dude,
suplex.
I'm sorry, Blaster, but I just have to say this real quick. I don't know how many years it took me and how many playthroughs, but one day I'm just playing around. I think it might have been on Mercenaries mode, but I had an opportunity. I'm like, okay, I can roundhouse this kick guy, but he's on the stairs, and a new prompt I've never seen before: suplex. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, and I did it, and Leon just suplexes this guy, and I'm like, "Holy crap, that is awesome! That is I never knew you could do that.
Yeah.
It took me so many years to find that prompt, and like, you can only do it on the stairs, and I'm like, damn! It's just one of those like, you could play this game so many times, and the opportunity to do that is so rare, you'll miss it entirely.
Where's the satisfying sound of one's impalement?
Won't fall for this old trick.
How dare you! No more games! Kill him! Kill! Quickly! We shall prepare for the ritual!
Leon, you're alive.
Like another boss, like did you ever like another favorite one that I loved was Krauser. The Krauser fight was so cool. It feels like a total action movie kind of thing where two guys face off against each other, and it is just awesome. Also, like it is this game's tyrant fight. Like in every Resident Evil, at least up through 5, there is some form of a tyrant that you have to fight. Some guy with a giant claw or whatever. And this one is Krauser. And so like he's like taunting you this whole way, like the lead up to this, and he's trying to shoot you with his Uzi, and he's throwing mines at you and stuff. You have to find like 3 pieces of an emblem that will unlock a gate before a bomb goes off. It feels like this was intended to be the final boss of the game, and then they were like, no, we're going to keep going, and like it just keeps going and going.
Do you know there's a secret mechanic behind the Krauser fight?
Well, you can knife him and that'll do a lot of damage. I know that.
Exactly. And I didn't know that part until way later on either. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I also realized just the other day there's a bit of symbolism in Krauser. So like in his final form, his wing arm is a shield, and like, okay, that's a shield. But then it struck me, I'm like, wait a minute. His other arm's a spear. This guy's a Spartan. He is OG military man through and through. And I'm like, I can't believe I just made that connection the other day when I was replaying Remake.
Yeah.
While we're on Krauser, this is what I was going to bring up when we were talking about favorite parts of the game, and then we kind of got away from it. But I adore the Krauser boss fight. Like that is the peak of this game. Starting with the quick time event knife fight. I'm an apologist for quick time events. I'm not sorry about it. It looks so cool. I mean,
it's awesome.
Even later on when they do it with like the laser wall, we can get to that in a minute. But the Krauser fight, I love the knife fight. That's like all action movie, and then it builds to this like super like high intensity, not stealth, but like almost like it's a thriller section of like, where's he at, as you're like slowly making your way through these like ruins, trying to figure out where he's gonna pop out from. And then like it builds up to that like on top of a tower fight. It's just, every piece of that fight is like so well crafted. I love it.
Yeah, his introduction is even just mysterious and like pretty awesome, because it's somewhere in the castle sequence in that second act of the game. He has a cutscene and he's just talking to Sattler in Sattler's like throne room. And he says like, yes, I'll go take care of him. And then you see like this like overhead view of some kind of factory with a lot of smoke coming out of it. And I just thought to myself, like, where in the hell is that? I'm in a castle. Where the hell are they? Like, my God, like, what is going on? And then like 2 hours later, that's when you finally meet him for the first time. But like it is just like this foreboding thing that you have to pay attention to like hours in advance, and then you finally do meet him for the first time proper. And that introductory scene that you're talking about, where you have all these quick time events during the knife fight, it literally is, it feels like watching a movie. And when I played that for the first time at 19, I thought to myself, like, this is amazing. This is the best game of all time.
Yeah, I want to talk about Krauser real quick, about one quick little thing, and we'll move on to the other part of I want to talk about this game. So Krauser is a bit of a weird mystery, because this dude comes out of nowhere, and you could play all the games beforehand and you'd be like, who the fuck is this dude? Because him and Leon clearly have history. Yeah. Have either of you guys played the Dark Side Chronicles?
Oh, absolutely.
So no, I haven't.
Okay, so there was a time about 15 years ago for the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. They came up with 2 games, the Umbrella Chronicles and the Dark Side Chronicles. And these are light gun shooters.
The light gun shooters on Wii.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how.
And they're also on PS3 as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's where I played them. They give you backstory on who the fuck Krauser is finally.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really cool because you go on the mission where like him and Leon are in this jungle, and sadly have to replay the mission. And what the second time around you play it through Krauser's head. There's nothing different except dialogue in his head where he's like, "Oh yeah, this shit is crazy. I want this power," and that's all what you kind of get. And I was like, man, that felt like a little anticlimactic on like who the fuck this dude is. So earlier we were talking about how this is mostly an action game and it has really good tension and not a lot of scares. But there are a couple of scares in this game. And the two big notable ones, the small bit where you play as Ashley is tense as fuck. It is because you are vulnerable as hell.
Yeah.
And speaking about things I never knew you could do, I didn't realize like the monks that chase you, you can harm them, and that took me forever to figure out.
Yeah, you got to throw a lantern at them and set them on fire. It's great.
Yeah. And I just came across that just by accident one day. And I was like, oh my God, this changes fucking everything.
Yeah. That moment, though, where you're playing as Ashley and then you go through the dark hallway and solve the puzzle, that like the sliding puzzle and stuff. And then the knights start to come to life and you have to like make your way back out of that corridor. It is gut wrenching because like you hear them coming, and that's the scary part. It's just like as soon as you start to hear them coming, I started thinking to myself like, all right, Ashley, we got to get the fuck out of here now. Let's go. Come on. Turn the crank. Damn it.
Yeah, that's the scariest part of that is when you're stuck at the end of that hall, you're turning that crank and you're like, this doesn't turn as fast as I need it to turn.
Oh. And the other scary part, and this thing is freaky, the regenerators. Oh God. My God. These things are so brilliant because by the time you meet these things, they're like, fuck it, we're going into full action mode. Like the things you are fighting have guerrilla military gear. You had a dude with a minigun who was shooting at you earlier. We're done with like the scary part of this. You're an action star. And they're like, haha, just kidding.
The sounds they make, oh man, like just unnerving because you can hear them around the corner. Yeah. And you know, every once in a while they get me because like you come around the corner in the dark and there he is, like standing right there in the hallway. But yeah, you gotta pay attention and just slowly make your way through and listen. Because you'll just hear that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to cut you off. I thought you were the end of that. If I was
I was.
Another like a horror element to this, I would say the is it Novistadors? Is that they're called the bugs? As you go in, you go down into like the sewer system, and they're invisible, and you can only see like their outline and their eyes. And if they jump on you, they will spit acid and melt your face off to the skull. It's like such a incredibly gruesome death. Like I would say even more gruesome than like when you get your head chainsawed off. And they just like, you'll just be walking through there and then you'll hear like a little like ticking noise of wings or legs and they'll just drop down on you.
Yeah.
And that I find that to be like one of the most tense moments of that game is making your way through there.
If you have a phobia of bugs, it would be really tenacious. And the funny thing about those things, earlier I talked about how I was terrified of the spiders in RE1. My first playthrough, I was tense the whole time because I was like, okay, when are giant spiders going to show up? They never do. Never. Not a single fucking time. And you're just like, well, that was a relief.
I don't recall them ever showing up again after that game. Like, trying to think back on it. There's things that are kind of spider-esque, but I don't ever recall just real big spiders ever showing back up.
No, that's a shame because they're silent in the game, and that's what makes them kind of creepy. Is that you don't hear a thing when they're walking around. But the ones in the bugs in the sewers, you can sneak up on them and take them out with the sniper rifle by spotting their breath, and they're not always there. Like sometimes they spawn in and immediately come attacking you, but sometimes they'll be like just standing there waiting. And if you can not trigger them and see their breath, you can take them out with the sniper in one shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a really good spot for that where there's like a skylight, and it looks like you're kind of almost like in like it almost looks like prison cells, kind of in the ruins
Yeah.
of the sewer, and they're kind of like all gathered around this light, and the light helps show their outline a lot better that you can snipe
Mhm.
them out with.
Yeah, and they're susceptible to flashbangs, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So I remember the first time I was going through that scene, I pulled out my shotgun and I was like, I learned on the first one that they were cloaking in some way, and I was like, okay, well, this is going to be interesting, and I felt like a badass every time I hit him with the shotgun.
Yeah. Do you guys remember some of your favorite loadouts of the game? Like what you really were kind of in gaming everything with on your regular runs and not like your extra runs?
So I really loved the shotguns in this game, and especially the shredder. That's like the end game shotgun. You get it pretty early in the game too, and if you upgrade it enough, you can get the magazine to hold 100 shells, and
You
it's just
mean
like, okay, well,
the striker?
the striker, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. I
And
called it I like to call it the decapitator because it's a gun where like it feels like every time you hold it up to someone's head, it just decapitates, just clean off.
great. That's not always a great idea, but yes. Other like favorites. I love the TMP. It is not accurate at all, but when you get the mount that goes with it, uh, I love submachine guns in games, and like guns that rapid fire but like don't do a lot of damage, because I just love shooting a lot of bullets at once, and I love how fast that one can get.
Yeah. Blaster, what about you?
I'm ride or die for the Red 9. I love the Han Solo pistol.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that's good.
I'll go to bat for that thing every day with
Yeah.
you put the stock on it, so it's like a pistol, but it goes all the way down his entire forearm. That thing, if you fully upgrade it, you really don't need any other weapons. But I'm also a big fan of the striker. That like it's such like a short, small shotgun that you can get a lot of shots out really quick and forever if you max that out too, because that 100-round drum.
Yeah. Also,
And then of
I
course
love.
the Chicago typewriter.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Chicago
That is
typewriter
great,
is
yeah.
my favorite. I like it more than the one shot laser cannon that
The PRL 9 or something. Like that.
yeah, that is really fun. But there's something about like infinite ammo TMP Tommy gun that's just so much fun.
Yeah.
I would say it's more fun than like the infinite rocket launcher. That's like
Mhm.
if I'm starting a fresh run, it's like I do that, and then the next run, that's the typewriter run. you gotta pick that up and go again.
Yeah.
Another great thing about the striker that we haven't mentioned is that Leon lines up his shot a lot quicker with the striker than the other shotguns, because he shoots mostly from the hip with the striker, and that like plays in, it sort of games the mechanic of the game, like where you have to like stop and then line up your shot, and you can't move while you're aiming, so how he just like readies the striker super fast is essential to managing big hordes.
Yeah. Um I I kind of have a loadout set every time I do a new game, and I've done this literally since my first playthrough. I keep my handgun, and I keep the shotgun you get for free until you get the striker. Then I sell the gun. I don't upgrade that first shotgun at all. I don't use any money on it. I save all that for the striker.
Do you pass up the riot gun at all?
No. So I also get the TMP with the stock, and
Yeah.
I get the butterfly, which is a really good magnum. It's not the best magnum in the game, but it sure as hell gets the job done. And I wait for the second sniper rifle availability, and I grab that one instead. And
Okay.
that's my loadout.
That first
That kinda
sniper
does.
rifle, though, like the lock mechanism of the first sniper rifle, I loved. Just the animation of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I only use that in the shooting gallery, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that same kind of approach of like you get the first one and then you don't upgrade it and then you don't upgrade the next one until you get like I always wait till I don't upgrade that pistol until I get my red 9 and I don't upgrade any of the shotguns until I get the
Yeah.
striker. And that bolt action sniper rifle, it's just there to clear out the intro of the castle when you get there and then you can just throw that thing away and never touch it again. And I really don't like to use any other sniper unless it's, a regenerator where you're kind of forced to, but I really don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm reluctantly sniping.
Oh man, like going back to that moment where you talk about the striker and called it the decapitator. Like I remember in the previews they were saying like, well, yeah, you can headshot enemies, but that's not always a good idea. You don't always want to do that. And I then like was playing the game, and that first time a parasite pops out after you headshot somebody was just like, oh no, like what am I doing? No, what, like my strategy is out the window. What was your reaction to that the first time?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
I would bring that back to your thing earlier where you were talking about the like where they hit you with the axe in the back and it like jump scares you because you don't see them.
Yeah.
If you're in like a big horde and you're like shotgun and heads off not paying attention, that when they have the like knife on the tentacle and
Yeah.
you're worried with something else and then that thing just decapitates you out of nowhere is such a shock every time it happens.
When the tentacle just comes off screen and just stabs Leon and just like, oh shit, like god damn it. Like we haven't talked about this, but that cabin fight is notorious for just like difficulty spikes in games, and it is so good. It's so hard though, and another like great moment of tension in the game where like you're just trying to fight off these guys, and then like you start to hear like windows breaking in the background and you're like, oh shit, they're breaking the windows upstairs and they're putting ladders up against the cabin. What am I gonna do? And like you sprint upstairs and start knocking the ladders down. That's so good.
How frugal were you guys with the knife in your first playthrough when you're like realizing, like ammo's really important and your knife is really useful?
Oh, first playthrough, I never used the knife.
Really?
I never did. I was just like, oh, who cares? Like I don't need the knife. I hated using the knife in the first game. I'm not going to use it here.
I thought it
break
was
some boxes.
I thought it was super important because I would have a strategy where I would go hide on top of a ladder and wait for the fuckers to come to me, and I just knife them all the way down. It's like, I'm saving my ammo.
That's a good strategy. I would often just like, knock the ladder down if I could.
Yeah, but not during
or
the
shoot
cabin
them.
fight. But I'm talking about just like in general, where like that canyon fight, where it's like kind of early in the game, and you're fighting where there's like two bridges, a valley down below, and there's a lot of ladders. Yeah,
It's right where you get the first sniper rifle, and yeah, you're fighting in the mine area. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, do you guys have any other favorite areas before we move on?
Oh man, like
I love the roller coaster.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
The
like the
mine
classic.
that is great. Like the whole underground sequence is really cool, and like that sequence right after the roller coaster where you're going through the caves and there are tons of bugs that you have to fight off, and they spawn infinitely, so you can't just kill everything in the game. And in this particular area, you just have to fight them off while you're hitting levers to turn on lights that will light up a doorway that will then take you out of the cave. That one, I thought like, okay, well, again, my shotgun is doing a lot of work here, and so like I'm gonna really just blast away at these bugs that are flying through the air. But uh, like the later areas where like you're like having Ashley drive the bulldozer, and you're just like trying to defend the bulldozer while enemies are like crawling onto it. That was crazy. Grenades are
Yeah.
great for that.
I've got a couple like little segments that are like really stand out, and a specific segment that I hate, and it's the only bad part of the whole game. um, I love the like when you first go up to the castle and there's a truck coming at you, and you're kind of like pinned in that like little fenced in road. You have to shoot the truck
Yeah.
to turn it sideways before you get up there. That part is always like really iconic to me. The hedge maze, of course, in the castle is such a really
With the
standout
dogs.
area.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't let this go without talking about that area because I love the attention of the dogs popping out of the side of the bushes, and
Yeah.
like that's a jump scare.
Yeah.
Of course, the when you're fighting all the knights, of course, in the castle as you're like walking through, and they quick time event you with Ashley, and then of course the worst part of this entire game is I'm not sure exactly what you call the room. The water room, yeah, would be the one I'd refer to as something I can't stand.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate the water room. What a terrible thing to put right in the middle of such a fantastic game.
Yeah, you got to be really good with your shots at that part of the game, especially your sniper rifle.
I mean, even if you're like you've done this a million times, it just every time you walk in, you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be any part of this.
No, I'll bring it up later. But what I've been playing lately is Little Nightmares again, because it's Halloween and I wanted to play something a little spooky. And I've already been playing the Dark Pictures House of Ashes, but yeah, like I wanted to play something that my wife would enjoy watching, but also like wasn't was also a little spooky on theme for the month. So she can't stand violence and like does not want to be around when I'm playing something super gory or anything. So
Yeah,
House
I
of
remember
Ashes,
that.
yeah,
I did that same thing when I was playing through I think it's the Resident Evil 2 remake. I was going for all the achievements, and you have to do some of those DLC. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like you're like in the gas station, you have to fight off a bunch. You're just like
Mhm.
exploding heads, and the 2 remake is so like visually like it's so like graphically intense of like blood
Yeah.
and guts flying everywhere. My wife's like, I don't want to watch this. You got to do something else.
So an interesting thing about the water room, and I learned this after watching like a video about the mechanics inside Resident Evil 4. They have this very interesting thing going on, and this is like it's sort of like what Left 4 Dead did with the governor system when that first debuted. But the game will adapt to how you're playing and how good you're doing or how
Yes.
bad you're doing. If you're doing really well, they will start to give you less ammo so that and less fewer healing items, so that you're always like kind of on the edge of making it through this game. If you're doing very poorly, though, they will drop more resources for you from enemies. Even more so, though, if you end up failing a sequence and getting killed a number of times, you're going to, and like you can see this if you've attempted the water room a number of times, but eventually the game will start to populate fewer enemies in an encounter for you. So I saw this in a YouTube video that was
Did
done
you know
by
gaming?
not Did You Know Gaming. It's Game Maker's Toolkit, and
That was what it's on because
yeah,
I noticed
and
this. I'm sorry. I was
well,
just
like
gonna say.
yeah,
I was gonna say I noticed this my very first playthrough as a teenager because I
Hmm.
specifically remember failing at the water part because before Ashley gets on the platform, uh, that entire area itself is kind of hard. You have enemies swarming around you,
yeah,
and I got really good at it even though I kept failing. I would fail like right at the end, and I would remember, hey, there are two guys up on top and they will shoot bolts at you. And then like the last time I did it, I was like, they're not there, and
yeah,
there's I think two less guys, and that's when I noticed they go a bit easy on you if you keep failing. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, that's
yeah.
interesting.
It's really fascinating, and this guy Mark Brown highlights like why that is important to keep the player going. They're going to push back on you, but after a certain number of failures, they'll say like, okay, well, let's go a little easier this time on you, and that kind of thing happens even on the hard mode for this game. So that's really interesting how the game doesn't tell you that they're going to do this, but they do it anyway.
Yeah. And I was just like, I felt really smart at the time, like figuring that out and telling friends because they never noticed. And then years later, when I saw the video myself, I was like, I saw that myself. I got on. um, Going back to frustrating moments, real quick. Uh, I think the most frustrating moment in the game are the part where you fight the two gladiator type dudes at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you don't fight just them, you fight a bunch of minions who keep dropping out of the ceiling. That is the most frustrating part in the entire game, along with the remake.
The Wolverine kind of guys, the blind
Yeah,
ones. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Um,
That is
Garador, I believe, is what it's called.
yeah, the Garador.
yeah. And like the best solution that you could try and do is shoot the bells that are in the corners, and they will try and attack those. And then while they've got their claws stuck in the wall, you hit them with the most powerful gun you have.
Yeah. But even that's super tricky because you got minions coming like everywhere and they'll stick on you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they're
That's
not
another
blind.
one of the places that I reluctantly snipe in, is that I'll send them towards a bell and then snipe the thing on their back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other things? Like, did you guys really care about Ashley was like kind of a meme for the longest time because she's kind of annoying, but I personally never found her like too much of a thing. She kept getting kidnapped too many times where I'm like, well, it's not like what
Leon!
yeah.
Help!
Yeah.
Leon!
Yeah, I don't have a problem with her gameplay wise, but I could do with a little less talking as you're going through. You don't have to yell that much.
I think they did her better in the remake.
Yeah.
But any last things before we kind of wrap about the game itself?
I feel like in the very end, when you have to like cure the parasite that's inside both her and Leon, that was most likely, and this is just my guess, I feel like that was probably going to be a mini game that they had to scrap.
It feels
And
like it.
It really does, because the machine is like this thing that they have to like sit in, and then there's like a laser that comes down and pivots in a bunch of different directions and shoots into their body. And I feel like that was going to be like something that you have to do yourself.
Yeah.
But then
It
it's a
probably was going to
cutscene.
be a quick time event at the very least.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm just curious, like, how many times have you purchased this game?
Oh, that's
boy.
a great question.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I take that back. Well, the first time I did borrow it from my cousin, so
Okay.
one less. But I've had it on like 4 or 5 systems.
Okay.
Ironically, we didn't even talk about the best version, even though I never played it. The Wii version.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I have bought this game 7 times, and the Wii version is still my favorite so far.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. God, I have bought it so many times. Like the GameCube, Wii, I have PS2,
Yeah.
360, PS4, Xbox One, VR on Oculus. I've got the Japanese GameCube port.
Oh,
or the GameCube
damn.
release
Nice.
that I've picked up. I think that's all the ones I have. It's kind of like one of those things. If I see it in public, I'm like, do I have that? Because if I don't have that version, I should probably get it. So it's kind of an obsession. I can't stop myself.
Do
Yeah.
you have the GameCube chainsaw?
I do not have that. I wish
Okay.
I did. That's the like gaming collectible that's always eluded me. That I'm like, I want that, but I don't have $12,000 to drop on this thing at any moment.
Jesus Christ. Is that it on eBay?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's in the hundreds, but it's out of the price range that I feel like this is unreasonable and I cannot buy this.
I've seen it in person, and it is a gnarly piece of equipment. I would only have it for a trophy. I don't think I would ever use it.
There was a local pawn shop near me that had one, and I think they had it priced around like 500, I think, and I was like, cool. So I could buy a new Xbox, or I could buy a controller that I will never touch, and it's gonna sit in the corner.
I want
And
to play
thought
with
about
it
a
for
lot.
5 minutes. I just want 5 minutes with it. I want to know how it feels and how heavy it is. That's it.
I've thought about wanting that thing since I was like a young kid when I first played this, because there was like one of those playground rumors that I heard that if you had that, then you could get a chainsaw and you could use the chainsaw in the game, and I was like, oh man, I really want that so bad. And then I grew up and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot because there's no way that happens.
Yeah. Do you guys have any special memories of like when you playing this game? Like when I first played it, it was the summer before my senior year of high school. You know, kind of just a memorable moment in general. Going back to school and be like, y'all need to play this game. Like you have no idea. This is one of the best games I've ever had. And then getting it later for the PS2 with all of the special goodies, like I was in between moves and living at my aunt and uncle's at the time, and like my cousin, who's sadly no longer with us, he wasn't doing so well in the hospital, so it kind of helped me get through that, and also got me through another time when I had it on the PS3, when I had no job and was like living in Arkansas, and I couldn't find a job for the life of me for about a couple of years. And I had one of the best play sessions of ever playing that. That's like when I found all the fun secrets I never knew about.
Mm-hmm. It's a damn shame that game didn't have a platinum trophy.
Oh my God. I've talked about not being a trophy hunter. That game, I was like, I want to platinum this, and I did everything. I'm like, what the fuck you mean there's no platinum? I did everything.
Yeah.
As an Xbox guy, I mean that doesn't affect me at all. But this game has just eluded me for achievements because I don't want to go get all the bottle caps. I don't like that. I don't feel like I want to waste the time on doing the shooting range. I get there and I'm like, yeah, I'll do this, and then I get like 2 rounds and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go shoot actual walking things.
Yeah, because I found that shooting challenge to be a lot of fun, and I loved doing it.
I liked it a lot better when I found out you also get gold.
Yes,
really well.
I did want the gold very much. Yeah.
I was like, oh, you get more than... Like, the idea of the bottle caps were kind of cool because they made a noise reminiscent of the cheap toys we fucking grew up with. Those tinny sounds. And like, okay, that's kind of neat. But the gold really set the deal on like, hey, if you get this, you can upgrade your weapons. I'm like, okay. You got me.
Yeah. But yeah, the Wii version, as you were saying, it is the best one. I loved it so much because you could line up your shot while you were still moving, and like that just broke one of the mechanics in the game. It really did. It made it so easy.
Yeah, and just the satisfaction of like using somewhat of your own hand to move it around. It was like the closest thing of ever using a mouse. Yeah. I would say. Yeah. So PC players really like, oh yeah, ironically, Wii version's best version, even though it's not on PC. Well, it is on PC now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Last thing on like that I would say about this game is just shout out to the other 4 of the Capcom 5 that were planned for GameCube.
Oh, and, yeah.
Those other games are really good, but they could not hold a candle to this one. And Beautiful Joe, great game. Killer 7, God, I wish that game would get remastered. Like I saw one of the developers at PAX from Suda 51, and she had said like, oh yeah, I wish we could do that. We don't own the rights. And it's like, yeah, I know. I wish you guys could, but man, that game, sooner or later, one day, it's gonna make its way to a modern console of some sort. But yeah, Killer 7, one of my favorites on GameCube. And then Project Number 3 or Piano 3. Yeah, that one was okay. Really cool game that you could like shoot and dance. And then, unfortunately, the 5th one that was never released, Dead Phoenix, just never came out. It looked really cool, but oh well. The Capcom 5, it was kind of an interesting initiative that Capcom was doing at the time.
Yeah, the Capcom 5 that is actually the Capcom 4. Yeah, I guess I got to get to my memories with this, don't I? I have a lot of memories wrapped up with Resident Evil 4 specifically because it is a game I play as a tradition every October. I'm pretty busy mostly in October. This is like my busiest month of the year because I do a lot of side things around this time. So Resident Evil 4 has always been the game that I'm like, this I can put on and get the satisfaction of playing a game, turn my brain off, but I don't have to like super focus it. It's like when you watch like, like people rewatch The Office 100 times. They're like, I just need to have something on. This is Resident Evil 4 is my The Office, I guess. Like
That's awesome.
I've turned Leon Kennedy into my personal Michael Scott, being the thing that I'm like, I just put this on. So I've played this every single October for, I don't know, 10 years or more. It's just been the thing that's always been there for me. So every October Halloween memory, it's like, oh, it's Resident Evil 4 season. So that's like its biggest memory for me.
So then is Ashley your Pam, and then is Ada your Jan?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do it that way.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah, and I guess what does that make Luis like the Jim situation?
Jim doesn't die in The Office.
Maybe he should have. Would have changed kept that story interesting.
What's so funny?
Oh, I think you know. The American prevailing is a cliche that only happens in your Hollywood movies. Mr. Kennedy. You entertain me. To show my appreciation, I will help you awaken from your world of cliches.
Ada, stand back.
Before we head off, just a quick segment. Any other games you guys been playing? Kevin, I know you just sent me a very wonderful message right before we started this podcast.
Yeah. I've been playing Blueprints recently. I typically don't like roguelike games, but this one, it is really good, really interesting. My wife loves watching me play it because she likes kind of getting into the puzzles and stuff, and like reading all the weird cryptic notes in it. And she also likes games like Myst, and this reminds her a lot of that. So that's fun. When she goes to bed, that's when I turn on House of Ashes. We are talking about that in the next episode of PS Plus Game Club. That's coming up. So, unfortunately, that one is leaving PlayStation Plus Extra. I just found out over the weekend, and that's just too bad. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that in the next episode. And I've also, just last night, I started another playthrough of Little Nightmares because, yes, it is Halloween, and I wanted something a little spooky to play before my wife went to bed. And that seems like a really good choice. So I've already played it once, and I was like, oh, yeah, I've got the PS5 version now for free because I bought the PS4 version. So why not jump in?
Awesome.
I am. I guess. Sorry if you want to
Yeah.
kick to me or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what have you been playing, Blaster?
I of course Resident Evil 4 because it is October. I forgot to mention the Switch version. I've been just kicking around the OG Switch version of that a little bit as I do in October, and then Skate. I've been pretty deep into Skate, and if anybody that follows my content here is listening, then they know I'm obsessed with Skate and most skateboarding games in general. I did a big Tony Hawk series, so having a new Skate game, I've just been obsessed with that, and I was in their preview program, so I've been playing it for a long time, and I still can't get enough of it. And also Mafia: The Old Country. I'm a mega Mafia fan, and I'm slowly working my way through The Old Country because it's not. I'm a little disappointed in the beginning of it. It's a little slower, and there's a lot of horses in it, so it's not giving me the exact Mafia vibe I'm looking for. But I can feel the Mafia wanting to come out of it, so I'm sticking with it. I'm hoping that my opinion changes on it, but those are the three that I'm kicking around at the moment.
I even though I'm already playing Silk Song, Hades 2, other games, I've also started Ghost of Yotei. Holy crap, this game is beautiful. It's more pretty in my opinion than Tsushima. It is a real spectral of the eyes. Also, I found a really cool setting. I think it's called the Watanabe setting, or I could be wrong on that. But if you guys ever play or watch Samurai Champloo back in the day, they put on lo-fi music in this setting, and it's fucking great. I love it. Um, uh, and it is a lot like Tsushima. I think I see the tweaked mechanics where I'm like, this is definitely an improvement, but it is also a lot of the same, and it's seems to be maybe a little bit too big. I'm trying to get to this one boss, and it's like, no, do a lot of these side missions first, and like, okay, whatever. But the mechanics are still solid. The story is actually really fun. I like the characters in this a bit more too. I would definitely call this an improvement, a true sequel, and I can't wait till more people play this as well, because like so many games have come out recently that we're a bit flooded, and we need games to stop releasing in mass so much.
Mm-hmm.
Bet you guys kind of feel the same way. Too many games.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And we got podcasts to do, guys. I mean, yeah, that actually brings me on to the next one I'll be doing. From now on, I'm actually going to be splitting these up. In October, like I said, probably just a couple days after this, I am showing final game review with RE4 remake. But after that, I'm doing old game save and then final game review month by month. So next month will be a final game review of Marvel's Midnight Suns. I've been wanting to talk about this game forever. I just started my third replay of that the other day. Play this game. If you are a Marvel fan, really play this game. It's one of the best Marvel stories I've ever seen because the character interactions are really good. I love how the characters interact in this game. And then we'll have a fun Christmas special in December on Old Game Safe. I talked to you guys, and you seem to be on board, and hopefully that'll be okay. I can't wait to show that episode for everyone else. But I think it's time to wrap it up here. Blaster, you're new. Where can people find you?
Oh, of course, at Blaster Goblin, like everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, I'm all those places. You got a podcast now. It's called Don't Be a Ding Dong. You can find that on YouTube and podcast services. That is the thing. That's my vehicle for non-game related stuff. It's pure nonsense. I'm trying that. We just started that. We're like 5 episodes in at the moment. So you find that every Thursday. If you're into, we try to reinvent the hot dog, the entire plot of Joe Dirt 2. We play games on there that make no sense, like guessing how TV censored their lines for movies that are way inappropriate. If you're into any of that stuff, go check that out. I'm really trying to push that at the moment. And then if you want my game stuff, Blaster Goblin everywhere.
You just reminded me of the Kill Bill TV only special. My name is Buck, and I like to party.
Oh boy, yeah, that has come up on the recent episode. So if you're into that, go check it out.
Kevin, what about you, man?
Yeah, so you can find me at the Portland Kevin on a lot of the socials. Unfortunately, I rarely check those. So, you could send me a message on Blue Sky at the Portland Kevin or on Instagram, and I'll probably see it in a couple of months. But I am mainly on Discord at the Portland Kevin. You can contact me there. And also go check out the PS Plus Game Club Discord and the Trophy Talk Discord that I'm a part of. So very active there in those Discords, and find us there and join the fun, talking all about platinums and games and anything on PS3, just fun stuff in life and everything.
Awesome. And you can mostly find me on Discord as well. Check out my other podcast, the Final Game Review, finished game review. And on Discord, Sage Temple, all one word, all lowercase. Find me there. Send me a DM if you want to try and be a part of the shows. I would love to have you all. I'd like to hear your opinions. I probably will. Once when I get a bigger following, I'll probably make a Discord room of my own. We'll see where everything goes from there. But anyways, I am Jordan. I am your host. Thank you again to Kevin and Blaster for coming on to tonight's episode. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm sure we could all three of us talk so much more about it, but we all have other things we need to go do.
Yeah.
And
we didn't talk about how the monks just chant one word, and in Spanish it's just woman, 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 just over and over. Mujer, mujer, mujer. Like,
is that what they say?
Yeah. Mujer, mujer.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, because they're looking for Ashley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I was like,
she's standing right there. They're just going to keep chanting that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I'm remembering all the phrases, but I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So
Well, the villagers they're saying that they're going to chop you up into picadillo, which is a very good salsa.
Matalo.
Yeah. Matsuno makes sense. It's just like kill him. Like that's it.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, this has been Jordan signing out. I hope everyone has an awesome night. Goodbye.
Mujer, mujer, mujer.